Hey everybody, Thrifty Christian coming to you live from the Goodwill Bins outlet store. In this video we're going to talk about your health and why you should be using one of these. You're in there. After this, stay with me. Okay guys, so in the intro there, I wanted to just kind of like make you guys aware of some of the health hazards and you know how you need to protect yourself. I want to start out just by saying that for all the newbies out there that are just starting into reselling and you're visiting the Bins outlet, whatever you want to call it, we call it the Bins, the Goodwill outlet stores, whatever you want to call it. When you're going in there, it just blows my mind, first of all, that most of the employees that work there, that are there day in and day out, are not wearing face masks. And they're breathing in all that dust. I went in there and, I mean, even for me, it was difficult to keep the mask on because, you know, I wear glasses and, you know, as people may or may not know, when you put that mask on, you know, your breath comes out underneath your glasses, and you know, when you start to move and you're digging into bins and you're pulling out clothing, your body temperature rises up, and then your glasses fog over because you're breathing so hard, and that's what started to happen to me. And at some point, I had to, you know, go ahead and take my mask off so that way I could at least see, you know. But and today, this is actually one day later, so it was yesterday that I shot that intro. Today I kind of feel like in my chest I can still feel like have a little bit of trouble breathing after just that little bit of breathing in. I think it was probably less than an hour. I went with my mask off and then I put it back on, and then, you know, continued to cull through the bins. But a lot of people don't know that, and you know, more of the people that were there to find, you know, clothing articles and things like that, they were the majority of them that were wearing them. Like I said, the employees, they're not even doing it. I don't know why, but their health is at serious risk there. And if you go there, I just want to make sure that you're aware of that, because unless you notice it like I did, and notice what was causing it, instead of thinking, oh, it's just allergies or sore throat, you know, because a lot of people will mistake those symptoms for maybe the beginning signs of a cold or something like that. So just so you guys are aware, you know, just use gloves and use you know, a breathing mask or something to protect you from the dust. So some other things that I wanted to get into were, you know, I want to focus on the beginners and going to the bins. I want to tell you about some of the mistakes that my wife and I made when we first went there. But before I do that, before I really talk in depth about that, I want to tell you a story that relates to this about a lady that I met in one of my locations here in Lakeland, Florida, that is, where I go thrifting. I call it my little honey hole because I get a lot of good deals there on clothing. I get them really cheap. But I met this lady I got to admit, I spied her phone. You know, if you're a reseller, you can spot another reseller rather quickly by just, you know, you can tell whether they're new at it as like I was, because every item that I found, you know, I was looking it up on my phone. So I walked by her and I saw her phone. I happened to glance over and I saw her phone was open to eBay and she was looking up a shirt or something like that. And it just kind of made me laugh. And so I walked by her and I turned around and I came back and I just asked her point blank, are you a reseller? You know, because I'm out to help people. And the last thing that I want a beginning reseller to do is to make those mistakes that I made. And that's what this channel is all about. I want to try to smooth out this process, take the learning curve, and just go straight up with it for some people, other than, giving them a one-on-one crash course of how to do eBay and how to list an item and what to look for and all those things. Most of that stuff comes with experience, and I'm not going to be able to make that learning curve, shoot straight up. There's going to have to be some time involved in that. But the thing that I noticed is when I doubled back and I asked her if she was a reseller, and she said, yeah, I just started doing it. And I thought, man, I can't let this lady make the mistakes that I made. So I looked in her bin or in her cart, and I noticed all the items that I had walked by and the reasons why I walked by them. I began to explain to her. And it was because I made these mistakes. When I first started, I went out, gung-ho, and I started buying, things that I'd heard other resellers talking about. And if you guys are watching this and if you're watching other resellers talk about things, you'll know this. One phrase that I say, Tommy for your mommy, okay? That I've heard repeated by 2 different resellers. And for some reason, that gives the people the inclination that, hey, it's Tommy Hilfiger, you better buy it because it's worth something. Not true. Not true. Just because it says Tommy Hilfiger on it, and just because you think it's vintage, doesn't mean that you're going to get a premium dollar for it. So don't go out there thinking that just because you see a Tommy Hilfiger on the rack and they've got a price tag of $6 on it, that you need to buy it. No, you don't. Your focus needs to be to get all those premium clothing brands, if you're doing clothing, at the rock bottom price. I've seen these mistakes. I've made these mistakes. So getting back to this beautiful woman, she was very kind and she was very, very open and, just accepting what it was that I had to tell her. And unfortunately, I didn't get to spend a lot of time with her, which I would have liked to, because I wanted to just pour into her everything that I knew. Getting back to her, she had all these items that I had already seen. I had already went through the racks because, as a reseller, you learn to look really fast. And you see the Nike, you see the Victoria's Secret's pink, and you see the, all of the good stuff. You see it all, but you see after a while what the price is of it and whether or not, already, whether or not there's any profit margin left in that. So I began to tell her, I was like, I saw all these items that you have here. You've got Columbia shirts in there. You've got all these great brands, but the prices are not where they need to be right now. And I tried to convince her to put them back, and wait so, until we had a discount on them of at least 50% or more, So abruptly, my wife had the carts and things, so I had to leave her. But the lesson in that is to take your time, and if you're going to go sourcing, go source premium items. Don't go in just buying anything and everything that you think may sell. Do a lot of research. Stay on top of what's going on in the market. The mistake that I made and my wife made was that we went to the bins, and this is how this comes full circle back to the bins. We went to the bins and just bought up a whole bunch of clothes, and not really thinking that some of that stuff was just going to sit for weeks and months. Which is exactly what happens, when you're in this game of reselling. You're going to have items that sell for months. They sit for months. I'm sorry, and you're not going to sell them. They're just going to sit there until the buyer comes in. So we, matter of fact, just yesterday or this morning we shipped out some something that's been sitting for a while, and it's really funny how it works. You'll be thinking about it. You're like, man, that jacket, I've had that for a while. I'm surprised no one's bought that yet. And then the very next day someone will buy it. But don't go out there. Don't go to the bins. Don't go load up a cart full. Okay? Don't be selective. Be very picky about the things you get. And look for that margin. Look for those items. Familiarize yourself with name brands that are not your average name brands. I'm going to give you guys a nugget. It's called Cull, or you can call it Cool. It's spelled Kuhl. That was a brand that I came across. Didn't know anything about it. As a matter of fact, it was my wife. I'll give her credit for that. She came across these Cull pants, and it was in the Orlando bins. She looked them up and found out that they were easily selling for $50 a pair. We paid less than $2 for them, and brought them home, put them on auction, whoop, $50, sold. So look for those items. Look for these specific brands that you're not seeing every day. Those are the ones. Those are the ones. Those are the gold nuggets. Those are the chrome hearts is another one. And there's many more that people really don't even know about, and it's because you don't see them. You don't know because you don't see them every day. Yeah, we're flooded with the Aeropostale. We're flooded with the Hollister, Abercrombie and Fitch, and Victoria's Secret's pink. Yeah, there's tons of that stuff out there. And yes, it does sell. But the profit margins aren't really that great on those things when you're going to the Goodwill store. Oh, let me get me started on the Goodwill store, the retail store right now. It's just ridiculous, their prices. You're not going to make any money at the Goodwill retail stores right now. They jack the prices up on everything. So, I guess the bins, where else? Where are you going to go for clothing? The bins. Just find those items that didn't sell at the bins and, make sure they're clean, spotless. So, anyway, I'm going to leave you guys with that. And remember, it's all about your health and your well-being when you get out there. And if any chance you get to help somebody and teach somebody and pour into them, then hey, great, that's awesome. I'm going to do more videos, but I'm not going to do the fancy intro as much. I want to do more videos that just simply, talk like I'm talking now. I want to talk about examples and things that have happened in my life. I want to go back and I want to do another video for this portion of my life that I let slip by. My intent was to document a lot of my transition from being an employed part-time reseller to a full-time reseller and how that happened. It's not a like fantastical story or anything like that. It happened pretty abruptly during the hurricane. So I want to be able to tell that story for those people who are, have a full-time job and are doing this part-time. And I want to tell them how I was able to transition. But I also want to add this. It is very important that if you're going to go the bins route, the Goodwill outlet route, it's important that if you want to transition from part-time to full-time, that you put in 110% effort. Anything that you find, get it listed. Do not go out and get tons and tons and tons of clothing and then have a death pile that you just are overwhelmed by and you'll never think that you'll be able to get it listed. Because it will pull on you, it'll drag on you, you'll lose interest, you'll have more interest in trying to go out and do the treasure hunt than to actually do the work. So if you're going to try to transition into full-time, take this opportunity to put the work in. And what I mean by that is this. When you put the work in, the work is done. Okay? The work is done. That means you don't have to do anything else to it other than just maintaining your store. And, changing it from a fixed price listing, good till canceled, to, hey, in the listing, 2 months later, renew the listing type of maintenance other than that. So all the work that you put in. Just know that if your price is right, your photos are right, your listing title is right, all those factors that play into getting higher search rank in eBay, if all those things are right, that item will sell. So what you're doing is basically this. You're investing in your future. And if you think about it that way, then every bit of work that you do will get you one day closer to being out of that full-time job. We're going to talk about that in more depth. I'm going to go into another video and I'm going to tell you exactly what happened in my life that enabled me to be able to do that and what's been getting my bills paid around my house. So I guess that's it for now, guys. If you enjoyed the content, or if you have any input, or if you have any ideas on what you would like me to make a video on next, I'd love to do it for you, but I can't do it without knowing what you guys are thinking. So if there's any area in which you need help, and I know that there's a lot of areas out there, but I'm only going to be motivated by it if you tell me. Any area that you're lacking in, anything that you need to know about or have a better understanding for, I'll help you the most I can. Just let me know in the description box or in the comments box. Let me know. Yeah, you guys know what that means. That's right. Let me know what you need me to do a video on. I'll be glad to do it for you. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. That helps me out a lot. I'm trying to build this channel without the fake subscribers. I'm going to go au naturel on this one. It's going to be organic. I'm not going to go out there and do what other YouTubers are doing to try to build their channel. I want people that really, really want to learn, and I want to make valuable content that's going to be able to help somebody get to where they need to be on the next level. Have any questions, please email me at thethriftychristian@gmail.com. And I guess I will see you on the next one. God bless each and every one of you guys. I wish you all the best. I'll be praying for every one of you. Thrifty Christian.